This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Police have found another woman with a weapon. The 28-year-old was arrested yesterday near Pinewood Park after police searched a Mitsubishi Lancer and discovered the imitation firearm. Police are also probing another unusual crime, a carjacking in Harbor Island and a hammer attack at Market Street, which has left a 27-year-old man in hospital. They're searching for suspects in both cases. The U.S. State Department was expected to decide today whether three Cuban detainees, Mauricio Valdez, Randy Rodriguez, and Pedro Parado, can receive asylum. The three Cuban detainees are seeking to be released from detention here in the Bahamas based on various allegations of abuse. They've fueled a series of protests among Miami Cuban exile groups. As the Bahamas government closely monitors this situation, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell will seek advice from the International Organization of Migration this week on whether any other country will house the detainees.
We have been in touch with them in the past, and I intend during the coming weeks the coming week to be in touch with IOM in particular to see if there are any other countries, assuming that, well, let's say the United States does not agree to take these, then we have a problem.
Now, regarding the other estimated 70 Cuban nationals detained at the Carmichael Road Detention Center, Minister Mitchell confirmed that documents have already been filed to start the process of deportation.
They are awaiting repatriation to Cuba. All of the documentation has been provided to the Cuban government. It takes a while to get that processed, but as soon as the Cuban government indicates that they're willing and ready, then they'll be sent back to Cuba.
A snag has put the launch of the government's CCTV program on hold. While expressing grave disappointment yesterday, National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage said CCTV providers have encountered a huge problem with the quality of images. By now, 260 of those cameras should have been up and running.
The quality of the image is very important in terms of the successful introduction of this program citywide. I'm concerned about it because we ought to have been up and running now with 260 cameras or so by the 1st of July.
Now, Dr. Nottage says there are around 100 plus cameras that are actually transmitting images. He says those responsible for installing the cameras have assured that they'll be ready by month's end.
Whether or not we'll solve the technical problems with the transmission and the image by the end of this month is at this point questionable, and I'm very concerned about that. Indeed, I'm upset about it because there have been too many delays. But hopefully between BDC and their technical experts from the Cisco company and from Huawei, a Chinese company, and those company to whom we have given the contract for the cameras, hopefully they'll get the problems sorted out before the end of the month.
Jamaicans across the world are about to celebrate the country's 51st independence anniversary tomorrow, August 6th. However, here in the Bahamas, celebrations began a bit early with a Thanksgiving service yesterday at Golden Gates Assembly on Carmichael Road. Led by the Hummingbirds Association, Jamaican residents assembled to give thanks for their independent country. They displayed their patriotism by singing their homeland's national anthem and reciting the national pledge. Jamaica attained full independence in 1962.
We must believe that we are uniquely equipped to pursue our bold mission outlined in Vision 2030 of making Jamaica a place where we choose to live, work, raise families, and do business. We are all aware that there is some distance between where we are and where we want to go. But we must not be discouraged. Rather, let us embrace the many challenges which confront Jamaica as a call to action and encourage each other to serve to the best of our ability with dignity, honor, and integrity.
Extending independence greetings on behalf of the Prime Minister, the government and people of the Bahamas were Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell, who acknowledged the strong relationship between both countries, while the Bahamas Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency Paiswell Forbes, reminisced on his educational pursuits in Jamaica.
Our Prime Minister met your Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, in Trinidad last month. And as a result of that, a fact-finding ministerial mission went to Jamaica just last month to look at your developments in agriculture and see how we can benefit from your experience. Similarly, we've been watching what you've done in sports, and the government has now embarked on an expansion of sports facilities throughout our islands because we see how sports can benefit the small boy and girl in the remotest parts of our country and make them giants on the world stage.
I know the fact now that Jamaica is now having what we call a holistic approach to everything educational in Jamaica. Barbados is starting the same thing on their campus at Cave Hill, and the same thing is happening according to the ministry, and also noted the same also in Trinidad at St. Augustine's campus. Because we had separate campuses across the region, we were able to cross-pollinate and meet new and interesting people, and we became more of a real regional kind of people.
Stay tuned. Sports with Julian Gibson is up next.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.